Good morning, everybody. Today, we are here to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Maryland Avenue Multimodal Streetscape project right here in Ward 6. Let's hear from Maryland Avenue. We are also kicking off our annual and much-needed Potholepalooza campaign. I want to acknowledge that we've been joined by our Director for the Department of Transportation, Jeff Meridian, as well as our Council Member for Ward 6, Charles Allen, who you will be hearing from both of them shortly. The Maryland Avenue project has been a long time coming for Ward 6. Since we started designing this project, we have worked with residents to create a solution that will make it safer for motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians to travel through the corridor. And as you heard just last week, my 2020 budget, I sent it to the council. And this budget makes big investments in building a safer and more sustainable transportation infrastructure. It includes a $122 million investment for a new K Street Transitway, $4.7 million for Vision Zero initiatives, including bike lane, parking enforcement, and a $240 million investment for streetscape projects, including the reconstruction of the so-called Dave Thomas Circle. With this project here on Maryland Avenue, we will be installing bike lanes, which will make it easier for bikes and cars to share the road. We'll also reduce the distance that pedestrians have to safely walk across the roadway, which is especially important at intersections where there is high-speed pedestrian traffic, like at 10th and Maryland, near the school, within a school, and 7th and Maryland, near the library. These improvements and the investments in my budget reflect our commitment to Vision Zero and our commitment to making our streets safe for all. And speaking of safety, Potholepalooza is also about safety. This year's campaign is especially important given that the region has experienced record rainfall last year in 2018, which has created what looks like a record number of potholes. We know that this is frustrating, and that's why our crews have been out working tirelessly since January, filling as many potholes as possible. In fact, since January 1, the street and bridge team at DDOT have filled more than 22,000 potholes. But they know, and I know, and you all do too, that we have much work to do this season. So we ask you to please continue to send in your service requests. I want to thank all the members of the press who are here, who have been putting that information out all morning. 311 calls, text to 311, as well as tweet to 311, and using the 311 app are ways that you can report potholes. So I'm going to ask Jeff to say a little bit more about the Potholepalooza campaign and the Maryland Avenue project, and then we'll hear from our council member and take your questions.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Councilmember Allen, thank you for being here. Mayor Bowser's recent budget is one of the best examples of her commitment to Vision Zero, to making our infrastructure safer for everybody, and to rebuilding and modernizing our infrastructure. And this project, the Maryland Avenue Streetscape project, is an example of all of those things. Thanks to the mayor's leadership and support from our Councilmember Allen, residents of the community will enjoy the benefit of a safer Maryland Avenue. We are really excited for the residents who live here along the corridor, for the students who walk to school every day, for those who bike, and for those who drive along the corridor. We are going to be making it safer for everybody. We'll be adding new bike lanes, new traffic signals, new trees. We'll be narrowing the travel lanes from 4 to 2. And we'll be improving the pedestrian experience by adding refuge islands and shortening the distance that it takes to cross Maryland Avenue. Over the coming weeks, neighbors will begin to hear more information about the timing of the project, when we can expect to see construction start, and all of the related traffic impacts. I want to acknowledge our team at DDOT, who's been hard at work designing this project and getting us ready for this very day. And I again want to thank the mayor. With her support, this project is possible. Of course, this is a big day for us for a number of reasons, as the mayor said, and Potholepalooza is high on that list. Our team, as the mayor said, since January has filled over 22,000 potholes, and that work continues each and every day. I want to acknowledge all the men and women of our street and bridge maintenance team who are here with us, who are doing this incredibly hard work. Let's give them a round of applause. In particular, I want to thank Aaron Horton and Brian Lawrence, who are here, who are leading this effort for us. As the mayor mentioned, and as you all probably noticed, it has been a particularly bad year for potholes. This is due to the historic amount of rain we saw in 2018 and the freeze-thaw cycle that we experienced this winter. Unfortunately, climate change does not show any signs of slowing down, and so we have, at the mayor's direction, taken bold steps to improve the way that we respond to potholes, both responding to 311 requests, but also proactively servicing each of the wards to ensure that we are covering all of them. We will continue to do this work as long as it takes to fill all of the potholes that we are seeing on the streets. With Potholepalooza, we encourage residents and visitors to use 311 to let us know if they experience a pothole, and we will respond to it as quickly as possible, while we're also proactively servicing all 8 wards. Each day, we are concentrating on getting this work done, and we appreciate the support and the partnership of the community. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Ward 6 Council member, Charles Allen.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Ms. Mayor. This is a really exciting day. I'll say just briefly on Potholepalooza. Whether you are driving a car or whether you're on a bike or I guess even a scooter, these potholes are big, and I know I've hit a couple of rim rattlers myself, so I'm excited to see that. We had somebody call in my office yesterday, Ms. Mayor, and they left a message and said, I don't care where you start. Let's just go get them. So I appreciate the team is out there, and please, as the director has said, report them so we can get out there and fill these. I'll say most of my comments really for Maryland Avenue, and that is, I think my history with this, it was back about 8 years or so, but I want to acknowledge ANC 6A and ANC 6C, and I saw Commissioner Tamajian here. Give them a round of applause. So many commissioners that actually aren't here today but have been a hand in this over the many years. This is one of those projects where it stretches across 2 ANCs. They've both worked incredibly hard to help shape the vision and keep momentum going. It's really exciting. Maryland Avenue, as you can see it right now, was a road that was built to handle about 30 to 45 minutes in the morning, but we live with it 24 hours a day. It divides our neighborhood. It is dangerous. We have schools, we have libraries, we have parks, we have a neighborhood that gets divided by a road that we have travelers and largely commuters that cut through way too fast, that put people at risk, whether you're trying to cross the street, get to the library, go to the park, or you're on your way to school. So the redesign is going to leave us with a safer street. It's going to be a safer street for everybody. It's going to be a better ride for cyclists. I think it's going to be a better ride for drivers as well, but certainly as we walk around our neighborhood and our community. So I remember, again, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, just kind of getting bought into this vision of what we can create here, and it is exciting today that we're going to help take this step. Ms. Mayor, I know you've sat in on some of these meetings too at the Northeast Branch Library, so I appreciate that you and your team have helped drive this to today, to where it's going to be very exciting, and I know we'll come back out and see the progress along the way. We'll help celebrate once this is done, but we're going to be proud of this project and thankful for DDOT's work on this, and thank you again for the community that has pushed so hard to hold all of us accountable to get to this day. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. So I want to thank the council member and the advisory neighborhood commissioners for their hard work and advocacy. And I want to thank our team who's going to be out here working on this project in advance. We know that they're going to take every precaution to stay safe and get the work done and delivered to our community just as soon as possible. I also just want to call your attention to a chart that DDOT has put before us that shows our investments in the coming years to get to a state of good repair on our residential streets, sidewalks, and alleys. So these are investments that, if steady and executed at the level that our team has been executing, we will be able to eliminate poorly rated roads in our city in just a few years. So with that, I'll take press questions first. Sam.
Yes, Mayor. Are you hiring more people to deal with all these potholes? What's the situation there?
Sure. So let me ask Jeff to talk to you about how our teams are deployed.
We have all available resources at our department and also some contracted support filling potholes. It's not just about the people, but it's also about the process, Sam, and that's something that we've worked under the mayor's direction to refine this year so that we are able to hit more potholes in a given day based on the way that we're deploying our crews.
So I saw Fort Myer putting up their sign. Is that one of the contractors that you're using? Or?
Fort Myer is the contractor that's going to be doing the construction work here on this Maryland Avenue project.
Okay.
Yes.
How many, this might be also for Director Meridian.
Could you introduce yourself?
Sorry, Max Smith with WTOP. How many potholes a day, or can you get to all these potholes by the end of the summer? I mean, what can people expect?
Yeah, so I can't predict how many we're going to see in a given day, as that changes based on a number of factors. But what we do know is that, especially around the time of the freeze-thaw cycle, is when we began to see more and more popping up, and we have been working hard to fill them each day, and we are monitoring very closely the rate at which we're filling them to ensure that we will get to all of them in as quick of a time frame as we can.
I have another question too. The city pays people if they, in some cases, right, if they destroy their tires on these potholes. How is that going? How much have you paid out? How much do you expect to pay out?
I can't speak to that specific question, but yes, there's a process by which an individual can file a claim if they have experienced damage that they believe is due to a pothole. Yes.
How many?
Again, Sam. Yeah.
So, Sam, we have an Office of Risk Management that evaluates claims, and we get claims for all kinds of things, from trash truck damage to tree damage, including potholes. On some, they will find that the district is responsible for, and others not. What we advise people to do is be in touch with their own insurance companies, and the insurance companies will work with us. Yes, Adam.
Good morning. Director Meridian, maybe this is for you, or maybe it's for you too, Mayor Bowser. A lot's been made about federal roads. You know, the National Park Service is having a hard time kind of keeping up with their properties. Claire Barton Parkway is in the district. It's a federal road. Would you be able to help out, the National Park Service, if the need came about, to help them patch some of their roads and their potholes?
We want the National Park Service to maintain their roadways. We have been actively engaged with them on a number of federal roads in the district, including Rock Creek Park. Fort Davis Drive is another one that's high on our list of problematic roads. Claire Barton, can you say anything about that? Okay, and we can follow up with that as well. We are not really looking to take on any federal roads at this time. Okay, thank you, everybody. And may I invite the ANC commissioners to join us at the front? Okay, very good. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Thank you. Good stand there.
That pothole will never come out.
That's good.
Good job, Greg.
All right. Yeah. All right, y'all. Get on the truck. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.